going to be from a few days ago. I was comfortably computerizing some bookwork, and my wife Dorothy said to me, "You know the desk upstairs, empty it." Empty it? All my junk is in there. Roger, I need the desk, and that junk's been sitting in there for at least 15 years. And she was right. And so we started off. The first thing I found was a soap dish. Isn't that lovely? You save soap dishes. How many of you are that fruity? And so I started saving cards that would fit in the soap dish. And here we go. Let's see, this says, discharged from the Marine Corps, November 26, 1947. Oh. I joined that outfit when I was 17. Became an expert with a grunt. And an expert at stealth. It's ironic, I can hardly walk today. I could get behind you and you'd never know Davies was there. Drop the loop over your noodle and you're gone. Hello. And I had arms. Man, did I have arms, because you have to put the power into it. Oh. Then I went to work in a federal funny farm. 20 years. And was discharged from that duty because I had osteodegenerative arthritis and I was bedridden for a couple of years. Not a very nice experience. But you rise, what is it, like cream, you rise to the top? I felt like a rock. I didn't realize that there were many things in life that I could do. Went to a mass rehab. They sent me to the University of Massachusetts and tested me for 3 days. I went in for an interview and they said, what would you like to do? I said, that's it. I was on crutches. I said, that's it. I came here for answers, not a conversation. 3 days of testing, you can't tell me anything, I'm out of here. A little hostile. They said, Roger, sit down. What would you really like to do? I said, I'd really like to be an English professor. Really? Well, you can do that. You can do anything you want to do. And I don't know how many of you have been told that, but it's a shock. And it's very hard to accept that kind of a proposition. So we looked over the job market for English professors and found out there was a glut. All right, and I said, I have 6 children. I need Pienza. I need to make a living. I'm physically a wreck. Have to use the noodle. Where can I go? They said, we need industrial arts teachers like you can't believe. There aren't any. The market is demanding people to come in. If you have a trade and you're retired, come in and teach industrial arts. But they weren't trained teachers. So I did that. I went to college and graduated at age 45 with 6 kids on welfare. Oh. The next thing I know, 6 universities asked me to please come and study with them. I chose the University of Maryland. I chose Maryland because it had a great reputation. It was near the Capitol. I always wanted to study in the Library of Congress. I could do that. They had great libraries, and I was a grad student, and that was fun because I like to raise hell, and I frightened a lot of students. I'll give you one example. I went to the bursar's office, and I said, I have this young lady in my class, I'd like to know what high school she graduated from. And they gave me that information. I called her teachers and asked them what kind of a student was she. I called the principal and said, you know, I'd like a little family information. And then the first day of class, while we're doing the roster, if I call your name, you're stay. If I don't call your name, don't ask questions, rise and leave. So I got to her last name. I said, I don't like this when it happens, but I have to do it. Let me grasp a few thoughts. Your father is a carpenter. Your mother? has red hair, is a nurse, you have an older sister, a younger brother. You received, what was it? Oh yes, an award in high school for drafting. This young lady screamed and ran out of the room, and I thought it was perfect because for the rest of that semester, everybody paid attention. That was fun. So I had a good time there. I went to community colleges. I was on the faculty at the Mass College of Art, where I taught industrial design. That was fun. I had some kids down there who didn't know anything about design, or they didn't have much imagination. One kid said, "Mr. Davies, I'm lost. I have to come up with something about light diffusion." I said, "Meet me this afternoon with a 3-pound hammer and a burlap bag." What? A 3-pound hammer, a burlap bag. You want help? Be here. Let's say, what's a good hour? 4? Well, yes. I said, okay, we're going to a junkyard. We're going to I said, don't ask questions. 4 o'clock, hammer, bag. We went to a junkyard. We smashed out windshields. You know how they kind of fall apart into cubes? And then you can put different color lights in a bath of these cubes, and it diffuses it all over the place. And he got a $10,000 scholarship for that. Wow. Isn't that neat? I thought that was great. He thought it was wonderful. I said, you're a genius. You're a Fleming genius. Hang on to it. Go with it. So that was fun. Then I became a grad student at the University of Maryland. And then I taught there for 2 years. Somebody was throwing away a sailboat. Can you imagine that? Mahogany. I said, put it in my backyard. Next thing I know, I took a U.S. Coast Guard auxiliary sailing and seamanship course. It was dull. Trapper education program. How many of you are trappers? What? Not one? I can't believe it. My sons all made their money when they were young as trappers. And, well, here's a kid that I had in school. He was going to drop out and follow the, the Grateful Dead, was it? All right? And I said, young man, sit down. We talk, you listen. We talk, you listen. All right? I got his card, Midshipman Mason Weinhold, United States Naval Academy. I went down to the Naval Academy and asked to speak to the head of the Science and Math Department. I was introduced to a fellow named Captain Key. What can I do for you, Mr. Davies? I said, you're a font of information. I want to tap your supply. I'm a teacher in New Hampshire. I'd like to know what information I can bring back to the teaching corps of that state that is being taught in junior high school that shouldn't be taught there. He said, wow, I thought nobody had ever asked that question. He said, the subject is algebra. Don't teach algebra in junior high school. I said, well, that's pretty firm talk. Why are you saying that? If kids take algebra in junior high school, their mindset is that subject belongs in junior high, and they miss out on the power of algebra. Oh. So I brought it back. Nobody was interested. I think that's enough. It's been interesting. It's been challenging. It's been a lot of fun. But the idea is to get out there and knock on doors, talk to people, get involved. If you don't know something, for heaven's sakes, get an answer. Don't quibble. Go for it. Get some starch. Move forward and forget about that.